Game on here at Tuesday night netball here at the Griffith University on our Tuesday night sessions here, and it's great to be back here with you, Robin, as action on the court already, and very quick play already.
Very fast start to the game. It's 1-1 so far between the Good Time Goals and Ballers.net. Just a pass in here from the Ballers.
And a good drop there, another good goal.
Good drop there. That sees the Ballers up 2-1. Oh, lovely intercept there. And another.
I have to comment on the name, Ballers.net. I think it's a very apt name as the Good Time Goals. For all those our viewers tonight, the Good Time Goals are in orange and the Ballers.net are in white.
Another lovely goal there from the Ballers, showing us why they are top of the table and undefeated so far this season.
And the Ballers go further forward. Here again, they took the ball out of the centre, and another scoring opportunity there, and converted.
I love the tie-dye T-shirts from the Ballers here tonight. Quite a fun outfit.
Yes, takes me back to an era that I don't really want to talk about, Robin, as we move forward. As the Ballers keep going forward. They're going very forward. We haven't seen much attack from the Good Time Goals yet.
No, I believe the Good Time Goals are without any subs tonight as well, so it may be tough going for them later on in the match. See how they go. Held ball there, only allowed to hold the ball for 3 seconds before you need to pass it off in netball.
Another good turnaround there. And an opportunity here for the Gulls maybe to get on the board.
Didn't quite get that ball back in before it went out, so the Gulls pass it in.
There's a very happy goal.
We saw him shoot towards the end of the match last week. He was always very happy with every goal he got.
Yes, he certainly was.
Good to see them enjoying themselves out there. Too easy from the goal shooter there for Ballers.
As the Gulls go forward again. And I suppose with limited, no bench tonight for the Good Time Goals. I suppose they could slow the game down to suit them if they wanted to.
Well, that would certainly be a tactic that I'd be looking to employ, but again, the Ballers may not let them.
Contested ball there, and it's coming back with the Ballers.net going forward, and they're moving it very quickly down the court.
Yes, their transitions through the mid-court are very quick and very accurate passing as well.
There's a little bit of mirth there, so there must have been some happy comments under the post.
Centre tries the trick pass and almost messes it up there.
And the Ballers again in a position to score, and they've done very well with their goal attack. Great to see all the games here tonight as we're focusing on this game, but in the background you can see all the other games here at the Griffith University sports fields here, or courts as I should say.
Is it a field or a court, Martin?
These are courts and not a field.
Another turnover there, unfortunately the Gulls couldn't get it cleanly into their shooters.
And we've also got to take into consideration the Ballers are on top of the table.
They are indeed and undefeated, so I think I can see why just from these opening minutes of this game.
It's time for the Gulls to fly forward here. An opportunity here for a goal shooter.
Just unbalanced there as she released the ball. And another turnover. The Ballers get it quickly back down the court. And it drops eventually.
It certainly does. So they've converted again. So the Ballers.net very quick down the court. Their speed. They're a world organised team.
Well, this group of friends, the Ballers, they've been playing together for 4 years, so I'm sure they've developed some very good combination and no-look passing and communication over that time.
You were saying this is their 3rd year together as a team, or their 2nd year?
4th year, actually.
4th year together as a team.
Yeah.
So hopefully one day they will complete their degrees and be able to move on. And we'll have the junior Ballers maybe next next semester.
They've had quite the season with injuries as well. I just note they've had 2 ankle injuries and 2 broken fingers. Yeah, they still sit undefeated on top of the table. And that's the first quarter done. Quite a fast quarter, and as we say, the Ballers have opened up quite a lead already.
The Ballers are 6 over the Good Time Girls 2. I suppose 6-2, that's sort of what we'd expect.
You would expect that, but don't lose faith in the goals.
I'm not losing faith.
You never know, they could come back.
I'm not losing faith in the goals, it's just 6-2, and we know the Gulls don't have a bench tonight, so they've only got their starting 7, so it's going to be a long night for them.
Yep.
And they are in equal second position at the moment, so we're almost at top of the table clash.
As the teams look to head back out on court for the second quarter. They will, of course, change ends each quarter. Just getting themselves sorted, and the Gulls with the centre pass.
And away they go. Can they convert? They need to, the next couple of attacks into the opposition's area, they really do need to convert, but unfortunately, great interception there.
Didn't go their way, but I think they will get the ball back for the pass in. The Ballers did tip it out. So take 2.
The goal attack there for the Ballers making a big difference there, isn't he?
He seems to be on fire tonight, passing and shooting.
And really using his height to his benefit. Nothing like having a bit of tall timber under the post. As they quickly move forward again, the Ballers.
Couldn't quite make it 4, but the shooter has a go now.
And I think one thing I'm noticing already, Robin, is the fact that there's a lot more talk on the court tonight. I think not so much from the Gulls, but from the Ballers.net. So, and that's what it's all about. You do need to know what's going on in the court. You do need to be talking to your teammates.
You do need to let your teammates know where you are if you're open for a pass.
Also some tight marking tonight if we look at the broadcast so far. I just believe there's very tight marking, which probably over the last couple of weeks hasn't been as tight. Is probably the best way of putting it. And a great pass into space there.
And the centre was very quick to get around the side of the circle to pull it in as well. Having some trouble converting this one.
Unfortunately, the long shot didn't drop. But their trip down the court has been converted, so they go 9 to the Gulls 2.
And the centre pass, so back down quickly into their goal circle. The other thing I notice about the ballers tonight, lots of movement. Even when they don't have the ball, they're constantly moving, putting themselves into positions in attack to be open for the pass or the intercept when they're in defence.
And you'd probably have to say if they've been a team for the last 4 years, it's their 4th year, that their communication and their understanding, and also probably team strategies.
Probably. I guess they've got some pretty good team strategies. I know as well that quite a few of them have played club netball as well as the mixed social netball, so that would also be helpful.
And this is something nice. We haven't seen the Gulls really going ahead, but unfortunately a bit unbalanced there, the shooter for the Gulls.
Lovely shot there again from the goal attack for the ballers.
You've got to give it to them. They are quick on transition from one end of the court to the other.
They sure are.
And here's the time for the Gulls, but unfortunately that pass... Oh, no, they've managed to maintain possession. Can they convert, though? That is the big thing now. At this stage, I think the goal shoot and the goal attack for the Gulls are probably a little bit intimidated by the defence of the ballers.net.
They're giving away a bit of height in the circle as well. That doesn't help.
It also tells you that a game is not all about what you can score, but what you can stop the other team from scoring, the defence.
Well, they do say defence wins championships.
And the ball wouldn't drop for the ballers. .net.
And the Gulls get it in the turnover. But unfortunately they've lost it again.
Yes, the turnover's proving costly for the Gulls, I'd have to say already tonight. 11-2 from the ballers over the Gulls.
Unfortunately, the centre there just going offside must have stepped briefly into the goal circle, which of course centre is not allowed to enter the goal circle at any time.
Also have to mention the quality of the umpiring over the last couple of weeks, and it was fantastic to have these our officials out here making sport happen in Australia.
That's right, can't play sport without the officials. I didn't appreciate them as much when I was playing.
I can well imagine. And unfortunately for the Gulls, they're again unable to convert when they're under their post. And quickly the ballers have counter-attacked.
Unfortunately, the Gulls took that one out of play, so the ballers still have it. Just falling in on the defence there. You need to maintain 3 feet in defence.
And fortunate for the Gulls, the ball dropped their way. And they're going to maintain possession, are they? Yes, they are.
They will. Nice use of the circle from the goal attack here. Getting herself in a better shooting position. Didn't fall for her, unfortunately, on this occasion.
And the ballers move forward once more. And watching the ballers in action, this is the first time we've had the opportunity to watch them. They have really shown why they are on top of the table. undefeated as well, aren't they?
Certainly they are. And we're almost at we're very much at the business end of the season as well. So wonder if they can take it all the way through to the championship undefeated.
And hopefully you'll be able to join us every Tuesday night for these broadcast games. So we're going all the way up to the finals. So plenty of netball to come on a Tuesday night from Griffith University.
Really is a lovely netball facility down here. Bit of bushland around, but just really good facilities as well, good court surface.
Unfortunately, a little bit wide that shot. But the goal shooter has obliged nicely by getting the goal.
Doing her job.
13 to the Ballers, good time goals 2.
Lovely shot there from the goal attack.
Another conversion. So the Ballers 14 to the good time goals 2. I'm not sure the goals have actually scored in the second quarter yet.
No, I don't think they have.
But that's if you look at the tall timber that is in defence for the Ballers. That's making it very difficult for what is probably fairly short attack for the goals, but
there we go. Could the comeback be on?
Yes, this is the start of the comeback. A short-lived comeback, I'd have to say.
They need to get a few turnovers going their way, the goals, and make sure they convert them into scores.
No, that was a much better move there from the goals. They really got some teamwork together there, knowing who's who and where they wanted to go, and converted. So
beautiful,
a great attack.
Beautiful from the goal attack there. Hopefully that gets her confidence back up. Great athleticism there from the goal attack to pull in that rebound and then convert the shot.
And this is where the goals need to score again. But unfortunately, handling tonight not as sharp as we'd expect. Is half-time in this first game between the Good Time Goals and the Ballers.net. 16-4.
16-4. Long way back for the Gulls if they are going to come back from here, but hopefully they're still enjoying it.
Highlighting some great shooting there in our second quarter, which sees the Ballers 16-4, up in the second quarter of this game. So this is first up against third place. The Good Time Goals equal second position, but take away the table there, Robin.
So we see the Ballers on top of the table, 18 points, as we've said, undefeated this season. The Beauties and the Beasts and the Good Time Gulls tied on 16. Gold Diggers on 15. Here if you need, quite the call for Netballers, on 12 points along with Wes for Prez. Table wrapped up by BK Burnouts on 8 and Is It a Court or a Field on 7 points. As we come back for the start of the second half, players are on the court.
And I just noticed, looking at the table there, that the Good Time Goals points for and against is not very high, so they're not a high-scoring team. So they must have made their wins on very short, very small wins.
Well, we called them last week. They had a draw, so yeah, margin's pretty close.
So the Gulls in attack again in this third quarter early, and that's what they need. They need to score, and they need to score quickly.
They do have a little bit of height back in the circle now with their goal shooter. Here he goes.
And that's what they needed. They needed another one. That's 17-5. The ball is over the net. The goals. And I'm just wondering whether one of the ballers' families, parents, have actually done the tie-dyeing, the old tie-dyeing shirts. It would have been something from the 70s and 80s, sort of bringing in a bit of history here. They all say that fashions just keep returning.
It's vintage. Retro. I'm sure being industrious university students, they tie-dyed it themselves.
Goal attack there for the Gulls, trying very hard, but balance not that sharp tonight.
Having some issues with the ball security tonight as well, the Gulls. A few fumbles and turnovers. I think they're just trying to rush things.
Yeah, I think we spoke at the beginning of the broadcast about them slowing the game down to suit them, and sort of. But the other thing too is the ballers.net. They just quickly move down the court. And if you're only just joined us, the other thing too we have to say about the Gulls don't have a bench tonight. They're only the 7 players that are on the team. So while the ballers do have a bench.
Yeah. As another one falls there for the ballers, so 21-5. It's quite the gap now. Not sure that I even know that the Gulls can come back from here.
Well, it's hard to write off a team midway through the third quarter, but I think no one in the Gulls is in our can hear what we're saying. So yes, I suppose you are correct that one. I think the Gulls would have to, besides basically changing their own attack, would really have to make sure that they stop the ballers, but the ballers again on attack and into the shooting area.
And the Gulls took it over the end line, unfortunately, so the ballers keep possession. And another one falls for them. Goal shooter and goal attack both doing a really good job tonight for the ballers. They haven't missed many.
And the goal shooter starting to loosen up, a bit of a smile, a little bit of a laugh going across. So she started to get a little bit happier about her performance. A bit cold early on, but that's probably just the fact that a bit chilly here tonight as we're almost embracing winter, coming into late autumn here in Brisbane.
Queensland winter. But once again, good conditions for netball tonight, nice and still. It's awful playing in windy conditions. As we watch this quick passing and a very accurate passing once again from the ballers.
There is certainly a great deal of hype for the goal attack for the ballers.
There sure is. I'm not sure that the defenders for the Gulls are really quite matching up on him well tonight.
Not at all. And the goal shooter again for the ballers, precise in her attack and her shooting tonight.
They all fell for him last week.
Yes, they certainly did. No. It's irony of the game, isn't it? Oh, that would have been a long shot. I think it would have been illegal too.
That would not have counted. You have to shoot from inside the goal circle.
Oh, great intercept there.
That would be very frustrating for the Gulls. It's always frustrating when someone comes and takes a long range intercept like that.
I think we can see why the ballers.net sitting on top of the table and undefeated. Although, as we said, it's only one game between the first and between the ballers and the goals. But on the court tonight, a lot of difference.
There is a lot of difference tonight, but again, it may not be when they have their full complement available, the goals.
There's that flashy smile from the goal shooter. Quite happy with his work.
26-6 now, deep into the third quarter. Obstruction call there. Wing defence needs to stand out of play for one pass.
A bit of a slip there from the goal shooter.
Uncharacteristic fumble from her.
You wonder how the teams have been inspired by the beginning of the Super Netball starting up, and a few local games on already, and of course the local derby between the Firebirds and the Lightning.
Yeah, just on the weekend. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately as a Firebirds member, the Lightning got us this time. The Lightning, of course, the defending premiers, two-time defending premiers in the Suncorp Super Netball. As another one falls for the Ballers, so 27-6.
That's a big gap to make up midway through the third quarter, 21 points. And the Ballers right on their toes, aren't they? They're very, very alert, very sharp.
Very in-your-face defence as well.
But they do have the height on them tonight across the court. The Ballers moving forward again. Quick transition. And now the opportunity for yet another goal. And a beautiful long shot. Who is this goal attack?
I think the long shot is his forte as well. That was a lovely lob pass there.
And
unfortunately couldn't convert.
The ever-smiling shooter could not convert that time, but here's another chance for him. An indiscretion under the post.
Goal defence called for obstruction.
Yes.
He looked a bit relieved to see that one drop, didn't he?
Very much so, yes. 20 points of difference now between the Ballers and the goals. It's quickly back to 21.
21.
It must be hard for the goals, for the ball to quickly go down the other end so quickly,
sure.
and for them to convert.
Just no rest for them, no break. It's very constant. But you know, you set yourself little goals in a game, maybe they can set themselves a goal to win the fourth quarter.
Because that's one of the promotional ideas with Super Netball, isn't it? Is they've got, you can win quarters and get bonus points.
Bonus points, yes indeed. Bit controversial last year when it was first introduced.
As everything is.
And that's the buzzer for three-quarter time. So 29-9, the Ballers are up over the Good Time Goals with 1 quarter to go. See some changes being made on the sideline once again. And we'll just have a quick look at a replay from the third quarter.
Yes, the goal attack for the Ballers is online tonight. He's really on fire. And his positional play is fantastic. Also the goal shooter. So I suppose if you look at it straight up and down when you look at that third quarter, the conversion rate for the Ballers as opposed to the goals is quite strong.
They're a good team within a team, the attack and the shooter there for the Ballers.
And now we're seeing those tie-dyed shirts, which is is basically the style that the Ballers are bringing back. I can see netball across the country, just girls wanting to play in tie-dyed shirts.
And boys.
And boys, of course, yes.
Netball all-inclusive. It's actually quite a strong men's netball competition throughout the country. Doesn't quite get the publicity that the ladies do, but it's a growing sport with men, very popular.
And you can see the 3 courts in action tonight as the 4th quarter is just about to start. And it looks like there's some changes to the ballers' side.
And there's been some positional changes on the goals side, I think. They've swapped some bibs around. And we're off.
Yes, the smiling goal shooter for the goals has now gone into defence.
That's probably a smart move. Put a bit more height in their defensive circle. Paying off already.
That's what we like to see. So the goals are on the way back.
I said I'd really like to see them maybe win this 4th quarter so they can take something positive away.
Well, so far they're 1-up.
And that move for Mario into the defensive circle. So far, paying off. Called for stepping then.
I get the feeling that, yes, that difference with Mario in goal defence has bolstered their defence a little bit. Give a bit more presence.
New goal attack as well for ballers. So the previous goal attack, starting goal attack, getting a well-earned rest in this final quarter.
Yeah, well, when you're 20 points up, I suppose you can start to rotate the team, can't you?
Yes, indeed.
Because you don't know, especially in the social competition at the university, you don't know when students can't attend or can't be here, and you will need to go to your backup players.
That's right.
You need a strong bench in any game.
Team is only as strong as their weakest player, don't they say?
Something like that, and as the goals have said, although they're here for fitness, they also want to win.
It's good to see, though, they're still smiling out there. So they're still enjoying their netball.
Well, the beauty of the activity is the good feelings that you get from just running around, especially with friends.
Mario again with another intercept. So the goals have it back down their end of the court.
And a very quick transition by the goals that time, which makes the difference.
It's important that they convert here, not waste this opportunity. And they do.
That's what we need to see. The margin now 19 points. But unfortunately a turnover there to the ballers.
Fortunately, he just closed in too close in defence there.
But he looks like he's enjoying himself, Mario, in defence.
He sure is. Love that smile. Fortunately, the goal attack step hopped. Now, of course, once you are in possession of the ball, you do need to be still in netball. Goals not falling as easily for the ballers in this final quarter.
So in the final quarter at the moment, it's are the goals leading, are they?
The goals are up 2-1 this quarter.
So I suppose the lesson to be learned here is how you can move players around and give them different roles and how it makes a difference in the actual game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Attempting to make the intercept, but unfortunately...
the centre contacted there, so stands out of play for one, which means the opposition centre should be open. A step there from the goals centre. Like last week, the umpires are all over the stepping, not getting away with anything.
The ball has moved down court yet again. Good transition down the court by the Gulls. All they need now is to convert. They're still leading this fourth quarter. That's what you were saying they should do.
Unfortunately, that one not falling for them, but they do get the ball back, and it drops in.
And they convert.
3-1 this quarter.
So it's the turnaround here. The turnaround quarter, if it was a 6-quarter game, it might be a whole different outcome. But it's only a 4-quarter game with the Ballers.net 30 and the Good Time Gulls 12.
The Ballers' defence inside the circle still holding solid. Beautiful shot there again from the goal attack. So they're not able to get a lot of clean ball in the circle, but once they do get the ball, their shooting is so much better.
I sense a little smile there coming from the goal attack after completing that score.
And the layup.
The leaping attack. And I've got a question for you later on netball and basketball after I was at the wheelchair basketball on the weekend. I noticed that the netball court is longer than a basketball court. And if you look at the lines on the court tonight, you will see that the netball court is just a little bit larger.
Sure is.
So how did that happen? Can you make something up for me?
Fitter? Of course, way back, netball was invented as the women's alternative to basketball. Women were not allowed to play basketball way back, so their alternative was netball.
It doesn't really explain why the netball court is still 2 metres longer than the basketball court, but maybe one of our listeners, viewers, may be able to think, I know the reason for that, and they may like to contact the broadcast and let us know. Why is a netball court longer than a basketball court?
I will find that out for you by next week.
Okay. But that was another score to the Gulls too then. That they're doing very well. So the ball is 32, the Good Time Gulls 13.
That extra height in the defensive circle certainly has made a huge difference to the Gulls.
It certainly
this
has.
Quarter.
And some good long passing there. They're really starting to find where their teammates are.
Mm-hmm.
And another good goal there, to goal attack from the Gulls.
A lot more communication this quarter as well from the Gulls. I always say it, communication is key.
Can't argue with that and can't disagree. As we must be getting late in the fourth quarter now.
As The buzzer goes in the background, and that's wraps for the first game tonight. The Ballers taking it out 32 goals to 14 over the Good Time Gulls.
Yes, so that was a very good win to the Ballers, so they maintain their position on top of the table.
As we look at some replays from that final quarter.
And that's the replays for the first game. So a great game there. A great game. And that was the top of the table clash. And what we have now is it a court or a field? Who will be in pink tonight in our second game?
It's definitely a court.
It's definitely a court.
And they will
This is not the Field of Dreams, is it?
They will be playing the BK Burnouts, who of course we saw in action last week. And final...
Yep.
Final score from that game that we just saw, Ballers.net 32, Good Time Gulls 14. But let's look ahead again to this next game that we're about to see. BK Burnouts will be in blue bibs tonight. They're captained by Chloe, who is from Rockhampton and studying law and business.
Well, is it a court or a field? They're in the pink bibs tonight. Their captain is Hannah Robertson. They're from Brisbane. They're a mixture of business and psychology.
Ooh, very interesting.
And they met at a social touch football game.
Wow, quite the sporty group.
So, yes, and they've moved on and they thought they'd take on netball.
And these two teams have actually met earlier, or met once before, and they tied 10-all in that first meeting. So that was in the first week of the tournament. And,
of course, our good friends, is it a court or a field? I'll just call them the courts.
Let's do
that.
We'll
just call them the courts because we can't go through the commentary all night calling them that all the time. But they are unfortunately on the bottom. They're holding up the ladder at the moment.
They are holding up the ladder, but of course, well, not of course, but the BK Burnouts haven't had a win so far yet this season either, but they have had 2 draws.
Which is quite exciting for them.
I think so. You still get a point for a draw.
What's happened with the courts? Of course, they tied in week 1.
Yep.
But they haven't had a win since then. So maybe they used all their energy and their expertise in that first game.
Let's see. Maybe tonight's the night. You know, this is the team that they tied with in week 1. So should be another nice close match, I think.
Yes, and we're waiting for the teams to bib up at the moment. Seems to be a little bit of a delay to our teams on the court.
Making sure everyone's present and accounted for. But it really is lovely down here at the netball courts on Tuesday night. It's quite a pleasant way to spend an evening.
It certainly is, Robin. And the other thing too is I think the other thing about this level of sport in Australia is that social aspect, that the enjoyment, the fun. You can see it in some of the players tonight. The occasional smile when the balls drop, but the other side of that is just you can see people meeting and greeting. And as we've said, the courts, they met playing touch football.
Yeah.
And now they said, okay, we can do touch football. Let's do netball.
Let's take on a new challenge. Of course, sport is a very big part of university life, and the Australian University National Championships are coming up later in the year. Netball is actually in both Division 1 and Division 2 of the Australian Uni Nationals. So
yes.
I'm not sure if any of these players will be representing the mighty Griffith University in that, but there's some skills out there. I think they'd go all right.
And I think the other thing too, when you talk about the university sport and the university games, which has become a bigger part of the calendar of events here in Australian sport. A lot of Olympians who will come back and go back to uni and will actually compete in the sports.
Absolutely, and all of the universities are very supportive of their athletes. They often let them do half loads or limited load contact hours and extend their degrees over a longer period of time to allow them to pursue their sporting dreams.
Well, just looking at the colours there, I'm thinking my pink team, the courts, maybe actually in yellow. looking around the courts here, because we've got the blue team to the left, which is the BK Burnouts. And I would say that we are looking for a yellow team, I think, as the
Yellow bibs,
the support staff are quickly onto that one.
Someone forgot to wash the pink bibs this week, so they've had to make a late change, I'm sure.
So they're not pretty in pink at all. They're
golden.
Golden.
Sunshine yellow.
Ah, there you go. They make it onto the screen. There you can see. That is the... is it a court or a field? Umpire's
just doing the final checks. No jewellery. Fingernails must be cut short. They're quite particular about that in netball.
Yes, well, I suppose there is a risk issue, isn't there?
There certainly is. Certainly is.
But looks like both sides tonight have benches, so there's not like the last game where the goals unfortunately only had their 7 players.
Waiting for the players to take the court and move into their positions.
And we can answer it. It is a court. It's not a field.
It most certainly is a court. I could see, though, if they met playing touch football, the confusion, because that is played on a field.
Yes, yes. At least they've come to the right place. They haven't gone down to the sports fields here.
Quite a healthy touch competition here at Griffith as well. Well, they used to be when I was here. I'm sure there still is. It was a good way to fill in a Friday afternoon, we found, back in my day, around on the touch footy fields.
Probably also a way of starting the social part of the weekend and working up a thirst as well, I think.
Heavy on the social.
Yes.
So the BK Burnouts are going to get us underway with the first centre pass.
And they're, of course, in blue, and the courts, or a field, are in yellow. Oh, golden.
Just waiting for the umpires to get the game underway. I'm not sure what the hold-up is. And we're off.
And just looking at the sides here, the BK Burnouts, they've got some tall timber in there. Goal attack for the Burnouts. A lot of height there.
We, of course, saw the Burnouts last week, where they had their second tie for the season.
It's interesting with the different sports. Some call them ties, some call them draws. Netball, they call it a tie, is it? Or a drawn game?
Well, I always call it a tie, but I'm not sure of the official ruling on that.
No, it's always the, I suppose, how sports evolve. And we have refs and umpires in different sports, don't we?
That's correct, yes. I do know there's no golden point.
Well done. Yeah. This isn't rugby league tonight. So yet to score in this second game for broadcast tonight here at Griffith University. Tuesday night social and netball.
Held ball called there. You do only have 3 seconds once gaining possession of the ball to pass it off.
And the long shot is king.
First score on the board tonight.
Just a little bit far that time. Ball goes to the
Burnouts.
The Burnouts.
And intercepted by court or field, but unfortunately they can't retain the possession.
Attempted intercept there, unfortunately didn't complete it, but yet again has worked it. So
bit of a live wire, that goal attack for, is it a court or is it a field? Seems to be in everything.
Fleet-footed and energetic, I would call him.
Very much so.
To double their score, which they do.
And 2-0 they go up.
I would like early on in the games the stony faced of the shooters and the goal attacks. They're sort of not showing too much emotion.
Well, they're focused. You don't want to get ahead of yourself. The score can turn around very quickly in netball. little bit of a slower game overall, this game, as compared to the first game, but you want to get the ball safely down into your goal circle, so it doesn't need a lot of speed. Accuracy far more important with the passing.
And also tonight we can introduce, of course, the mascot for Griffith University. If you can see up there on the scoreboard in the corner left-hand side, it's Good Time Gary, the gorilla from Griffith University. So he's joined the broadcast, and it's great to have Good Time Gary here with us.
Sure is. Happy, smiling, ready for a good time.
Good time.
As BK Burnouts have it back again, a few turnovers in the midcourt, and the goal shooter makes sure of it. I remember her being very accurate last week as well. And is it a court or is it a field? Has the throw in from the sideline. Can they make use of this one and get on the board?
Unfortunately, no, as yet.
But she does get another shot. The goalkeeper was deemed to have been too close. You need to maintain 3 feet or 1 metre before you can put your hands up and defend.
So as we see on the screen there, the quarter field, the coughs. We got the coughs, and hopefully we don't get coughing tonight, but maybe coffee later. So as the Burnouts again take advantage. Unfortunately for the Burnouts, they weren't able to convert.
But there was an indiscretion on court, so they do get it back on court, but they turn it over immediately.
A hand in there from the Burnouts. So possession goes back to the Coughs.
Goalkeeper deemed to be out of play for contact. Lovely ball across the top there and converted.
It's becoming quite a tight game, as you said earlier. There's not much, not high-scoring game so far. Only 3-2. But both teams just settling in and finding their feet.
Pretty energetic game, though.
The Burnouts have maintained possession.
Expect the Burnouts to have some pretty good communication tonight. They live together on college, so they should see quite a bit of each other.
Probably sometimes they might see too much of each other, but that's another story of university life, which all those people who've spent time on campus will totally understand.
As we see, is it a court or is it a field? Yeah, down to their goal circle. Need to get their shooters into good position inside the circle to pass it in so they can take the shot. They're just struggling a little bit with their passing around the circle at the moment.
So it's a low-scoring game. It's in the first quarter, 3-2 to the Burnouts over the Cawdor field.
And an incorrect pass in there from the Burnouts, so possession turns over to Koff.
The one-footed goal shooter there, goal attack, sorry.
And that's quarter time, so got that goal in just as the quarter time clock counted down. So, as you say, a pretty low scoring game so far, but I think they're just finding their way, finding their matchups.
And one of the things I've noticed over the broadcast the last couple of weeks is that the tendency for some of the goal attacks, more the boys than the girls, to actually sort of be on one leg.
The Flamingo's quite popular as we look to the replay of some of the action from the first quarter.
Yes, there's the flamingo.
The flamingo.
The flying flamingo in yellow in the golden colours there.
If it works for you, why not? Why not?
And that's the other thing too, is as much as school is a big part of your life, university time is another one, isn't it? Where you actually progress, you're maturing, you're actually and meeting people on a different basis again.
Yeah, finding your way. Really, I think finding out who you are in the world. You're out of home often. First taste of real independence for a lot of people. So it's really important to make these connections that you do make through sport and other extracurricular activities.
And what degree did you do, Robin?
I actually did a sports management degree.
Yeah, well, I did a business degree in management marketing, but I seemed to hang around with a lot of accountants at the time. So maybe my university times was misspent incorrectly as we come into the second quarter.
So we get underway with the BK burnouts.
All square on the scoreboard.
And of course, teams switch ends every quarter in netball, so shooting at the opposite end. Some shooters often do have a favourite end to shoot from. Personally, don't see how it makes any difference, but I was never a shooter, so.
No, and as the I just feel a slight breeze is joining us now, as well. So the wind has turned up just a little bit.
It's a good excuse for any wayward passes.
But and the temperature's dropped. I don't think the wind's going to affect that much. But, and we've dropped 1 degree here, so it's still a fairly warm night here in Mount Gravatt at the campus here for Griffith University. As
the BK burnouts, goal attack was unsure whether to pass or shoot then, and it's resulted in a turnover. So Caudle Field has it, taking it back down to their attacking end.
Quick transition, quick movement down the court. Unfortunately, that last pass just falling short. Turnover again being transferred. Back and forth.
Can hear a fair bit of laughter out there on the court. I'm not really sure what's happened, but it's good they're enjoying themselves.
Well, we aren't playing for cattle stations tonight. Maybe small sheep stations, but no cattle stations. So we...
Playing for pizza, perhaps. That's what we used to play for.
Well, who has to pay for it?
Losing team shout.
Right.
Pizza or beer.
Now, there's another great Australian tradition, isn't it? Yes. Yes. We know what the prize is, yes.
Another turnover there. A few fumbles from both teams so far tonight. So, not sure if anyone's butted the ball or what's going on. But another lovely shot from a very accurate goal shooter for BK burnouts.
And a bit of a change in the score, 4-3, so still a very low scoring game and very tight. But as I said, turnovers are high tonight at this point in time.
Contact call on the goalkeeper.
Opportunity again for the court.
Just not dropping for her tonight so far.
Now the radar is coming into action, yes.
Goal attack. Especially impressive, he was actually falling backwards, so a bit off balance as he shot that. Still went in.
Just checking the score there. I think that score may have been put up for the burnouts, where it's a goal to the court.
Stepping called on the wing attack, so that's just a turnover.
Quick transition again by the burnouts. Great intercept. Back we go. Great anticipation by some of the players tonight on both sides in both games.
Anticipation is pretty crucial in netball, so if you can come from virtually nowhere to take a flying intercept, it looks impressive to start with, but it's also pretty valuable to your team.
And just correcting the scoreboard there, it is 4 all. It is the quarter field up against the Burnouts, the BK Burnouts. It's 4 all halfway through the second quarter.
Goal attack is out of play for this pass. Goal defence falling in. And that ball did go out before they were able to scoop it back in. So throw in for the Burnouts. An incorrect throw in there. She actually had her foot on the line. You need to be behind the line when you're throwing in.
Which is great work by the umpires here tonight to be picking up on those things and being so sharp on those things.
Yeah. There's a very high standard of umpiring in this competition. They don't miss much, if anything. Lovely shot there from the goal attack.
Not letting up much emotion there, Wyatt. Just business as usual under the post.
As the Burnouts have it back again. Quickly down the court, but intercepted. Intercepted by the goalkeeper for court or field.
Technical ruling there, was it movement or was it
Yeah, he
stepping?
was called for stepping there. Was very off balance as he caught the ball, so of course his grounded foot would have moved, even if ever so slightly.
I think we can say turnovers are the main feature of this second game tonight. We're broadcasting here at Griffith University, the Mount Gravatt campus, for Tuesday night social netball.
Referee just calling a stop to the game. The goal attack for, is it a court or is it a field? Blood on his knee, I believe. So he has gone off to attend to that. Not sure if they have a substitute player coming back on or they're just going to carry on with only 6 players.
It looks that way at the moment. But, they are going to be that one short. Which gives the opportunity now for the Burnouts to really take advantage.
Particularly down a shooter with the goal attack going off. So that could be very difficult for them. I would have expected them to make a quick positional change. You usually drop off one of the wings when you're a player short.
Well, that was good because I was just going to ask you what you would have done in a strategic way when that happens in the game. So you've answered that for our viewers tonight.
Yeah. Generally don't want to leave yourself a player short in either goal circle. So either the wing defence or the wing attack is usually the first cut when you're down a player.
And the benefit of tall timber yet again. But a little bit slippery. Don't feel there's any dew around or anything like that.
No, I'm not sure how much, if any, rain they may have got out this way. It certainly rained overnight in the city, but not sure if it rained out here. So, but this court wouldn't hold that slipperiness anyway. This court surface is pretty quick drying.
And looking at the court surface, they look like they've either been repainted recently or they're very new anyway.
Yeah, not sure how old these surfaces are, but being outdoor courts as well, they open to the elements, so wear and tear would be big. They would need to be resurfaced for safety more than anything on a fairly regular basis, maybe every couple of years or so.
Just not dropping there for court or field. Still a tight game, 5-4 as we've late in the second quarter of our second game for broadcast. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. This is part of the Griffith University Film School's outside broadcast unit.
And of course, well, we're happy to have everyone watching. If you are looking for something to do on a Tuesday night and you're in the vicinity, why not actually come down and cheer these guys on?
Yes, as we'll be building up for the next few weeks up to the finals. And we'll bringing that to you, I think, early next month.
And that was too easy for the goal attack, but again, just very stoic and not showing too much excitement, realising that it's still a very close game.
Only 2 points in it with the burnouts over the court 6-4.
Looks out like the court or field goal attack is patched up, getting ready to come back on. Can't actually enter the court until the umpire calls him on. And it's half time anyway. Right. So they'll be back to a full complement for the start of the second half. And only 2 goals down, so not too bad.
No, a tight match, but as I said, turnovers the feature at the moment. And time for some replays of that second quarter.
Some good action there in the first half of this match between the BK Burnouts and is it a court or is it a field? Bottom of the table clash, but still super important that you want to get every win you can on the board.
And I just thought I'd take this opportunity to introduce Gary, the Good Time Gorilla, on our mics tonight. So he's the mascot for Griffith University. Was the mascot when you were here, young lady?
It was a long time ago. I don't actually quite remember coming across Gary, but I'm not really sure.
So if anybody is wandering around Griffith University, occasionally you see a gorilla walking around smiling, just say, hello, Gary. As we're coming up to the third quarter of this second game, and we'll get serious and we'll put down the Griffith University logos now and put Gary back in his box just for the third quarter.
So court or field will get us underway with the centre pass for this quarter. The players just need to get into their positions and we're underway again.
So it's a 3-point game. The burnouts 7 and the court is 4.
That was a definite step there from the goal attack. They're just rushing. They just rushed that transition.
Great sense of urgency there by the burnouts in defence.
I think they'd like to open up this lead early on in this quarter if they can.
Fantastic intercepts.
The poor goal attack from court or field. He seems to be finding a bit of a misadventure tonight.
Well, what we can say is he's putting his full body into the game tonight.
He sure is.
Just coming back onto the court after the second quarter when he was had to leave based on looked like a very small cut on his knee, but by the rules of the game, of course, we need to make sure there's no blood on the court.
Well, the umpire spotted it, so patched up and back into it.
And a wooden drop for the burnouts. The courts really need to convert here. They do need a point to bring us back in the game, just to make it a 2-point gap.
Yeah, they need to stay in touch with the burnouts here. And the Flamingo, successful once again.
While he's on his feet, he's doing very, very well. Fantastic effort.
Oh, and a turnover. So courts can bring this back to a 1-point difference here. Unfortunately, they couldn't convert that one.
I have to say, he probably could have slowed down just a tad on that one. He didn't need to go that fast. There's still plenty of time, and there's only two goals in it.
Doesn't want to shoot from that wide, so using his circle players to get him in a better position. Still misses, unfortunately.
It certainly didn't want to drop for the Burnouts, did it? Quick turnover and quick transition. Unfortunately for...
These passes are just not on radar tonight. So they're just a little bit off. You want to be trying to pass it to the chest region, so it's a good catching height for your teammates.
But they're down there again. Unfortunately for Caulfield, they couldn't maintain possession. So it's back with the Burnouts going down the court. Good communication. They know where they're supposed to be. They know what their role is.
Just not dropping for him tonight. Look of frustration on his face at that one.
I'd also have to say probably both ends, the goal attacks maybe could just slow down a little and set themselves. But that's easy to say from the commentary table.
I always found it easy to say from the centre position as well back in my day.
But a wry smile, I think, across the goal attack there for the Burnouts as they increase their lead to 3. A very low-scoring match.
Just rushed that pass a little, but it did come off the Caulfield player, so Burnouts retain possession. There's that. Oh, called for stepping there, the goal attack, so it's back down the court with, is it a court or is it a field?
Now work that one out, it is the court.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Always has been in my day.
Yep. This is a critical one, unfortunately. I think he's going to get another... No.
No, pass in for the Burnouts, but can they get the intercept and keep it down in their circle?
Yes, very energetic goal attack there. And, well, this is the opportunity. If they can make that gap to just 2. They've got plenty of time on the clock. Unfortunately, though, another turnover.
The Burnouts goalkeeper's been immense in defence tonight, so he's been very critical to the lead of this Burnouts team. Defence as important as the attack.
And that's probably where the game of netball has developed a lot more in the last, since the national competitions and the super netball we have now, is that aspect of defence.
Certainly a lot more contact these days. It's a bit rough in the goal circles these days. I've seen a number of shooters come away with quite a few bruises after a game. But certainly there's been some goalkeepers to the fore. Of course, our very own Laura Geitz, one of the best players Australian netball's ever seen, and of course my old friend Liz Ellis, also another great goalkeeper.
And that's probably where our domination was internationally, was the fact that we stepped up in defence in a lot of ways.
Very much so. Really get in and fight for that ball every single time.
As we see plenty of defence here in the third quarter of our second game for broadcast here at the Griffith University Mount Gravatt campus. It is the Burnouts 8 over the Caulfield 5.
Still nice and close. As we were saying earlier, the last time these two teams met in the first round, it was a 10-all draw. Could we be headed for another one?
Could they emulate that again? Could they have another 10-all draw? Well, if that's the case, Court or Field will be very happy about that, because at the moment they're languishing a little bit, but as that in a low-scoring game, it's only three goals.
Very casual, one hand. A little bit of height advantage.
A little bit of height advantage, but didn't take advantage of it.
No.
Unfortunately, still not slowing down, just to settle yourself, take a breath, and shoot. So this is what we need to see. Can the Court or Field take advantage? Too strong. Unfortunately there, we would tighten the game right up, but the Burnouts have managed to...
oh, we've got another turnover.
Burnouts managed to intercept there, but yeah, the...
took it out of court, unfortunately.
maintaining possession tonight has not been the prime aspect of either of these teams. But then again, it's good defence.
Yeah, it's been a little bit scrappy, I think I'd say, for this game. But they're still all smiling and laughing, so enjoying themselves, which is very important. It is social netball. So.
Tuesday night social and netball. This is the, I think we've had 8 rounds of the competition so far. We'll check that with the ladder later. But it will be interesting to see. Well, I suppose neither of these teams are really going to affect the finals, are they?
No, I don't think they will, but you do want to not finish bottom of the table if you can avoid it.
You'll be buying pizzas for everybody then, won't you?
As the buzzer goes in the background.
For 3/4 time. 8-5 to the Burnouts over the Court or Field. Yes, so not a very exciting third quarter. Can I say that?
You can say that because it's true. A little bit scrappy, as I said in commentary. Turnovers are plenty, but they're all in there fighting for the ball, and they're having a great time doing it.
Yes, and just the activity of being out here on Tuesday night. A little bit of a breeze has brought. Well, it seems to have dropped off again now, but we're getting little gusts of a chill wind here from, which I would say is the south.
Mm-hmm. See some positional changes going on, certainly with is it a court or is it a field. There's some bibs being swapped around over on the side of the court as the players enter again for the 4th and final quarter, but only 3 goals in it, so could be game on.
Yes, and as you said, they played a draw 10-all their first time they competed against each other, so could they emulate it? Could they do it twice? And what are the chances?
Certainly on the cards, I don't know. I'm not a gambling person, but it'd be interesting to see the odds.
And if you are, gamble responsibly. And so we get the 4th quarter underway. It's just 3 goals between the teams, but it is the Burnouts who start with possession but can't convert.
I think the is it a court or is it a field? Probably need to get the first score on the board in this quarter, to be honest.
I think that is a very fair assumption, yes. I believe you very much so there. They really do need to make a break. They've had opportunities and they haven't been able to take advantage of them. So, and I think if the Burnouts were actually to score here and make it a 4-point game, I'd have to say we may find it very difficult for the Courts to come back.
It might be, yeah. And that's what we're looking at. It's a 4-goal difference now. Still not insurmountable. If they get on a roll, a couple of turnovers.
And there's the first turnover against them, which is not what we wanted to see.
Just rushing their passes too much tonight. 3 seconds sounds very quick. It's not as quick as it seems when you've actually got the ball in your hands. Definite contact there from the centre. Push, little accidental push in the back.
The old accidental push in the back, yes. As opposed to the push in the back on purpose.
That never happens in netball.
No, I reckon you would have been a very stoic centre when you played netball and played within the rules of the game.
Of course. At least my version of them.
Interpretation as the Burnouts come down court, but they've managed to lose possession, and the courts are coming back. Here's
Lovely
an opportunity.
pass.
Ah, yes, we've got it. The goal attack is back on fire. No smiles there from him, but it's just a 3 points now as we're into the fourth quarter. So can this 10-all draw be happening again? Not valuing possession there, the Burnouts.
Oh, another pass goes astray. Seems like it's just not their night tonight.
Might have been a hard day at lectures today. You never know what the strains on the players today.
Probably coming towards exam time as well, maybe. Sport's certainly a good release from the study, from the books. And the courts, oh, turn it over again. But they certainly haven't given up. They're still in there fighting for it. I think they still believe they can get this.
Well, it's only the 3 points in it. It really hasn't been much through the whole game. But I think that epitomises what's really happened tonight. Ball security has been very low.
New goal attack lines up.
We'll have a third shot at this for some reason.
The goal shooter makes sure of it. I think she's been very accurate tonight. Don't think she's missed many.
So 4 points in it. The Burnouts on 10 already, but unfortunately another turnover.
And again, pass too strong.
Just, as you've said before, just pushing it a little too quickly. You do have a time to take a step and take a breath.
Speaking of stepping, they took the pass from the wrong spot, so the umpire's just letting them advance it down the court and take it from the correct spot where the infringement occurred. But once again, they've passed it out, so it's a turnover, and the Burnouts get another opportunity to extend this lead. Quick turnover.
And just won't drop.
Another stepping call. I think the Burnouts got a few stepping calls last week as well from memory, so they may want to look at that.
So I'd say we're in the latter half of the fourth quarter. So if Quarterfield are going to do it, they're going to have to start scoring very quickly and take advantage of every opportunity they have with possession.
Need to make sure of their passes. That's been their major downfall tonight, just rushing their passes. That was a lovely pass.
That's what we like to see, isn't it? It's 10-7 to the Burnouts over the Cawdor Field. So can Cawdor Field bring it out and get 3 more to make it a 10-all draw again?
The Burnouts are smart here, though. Will slow the game right down, pass it around, take time off the clock. So takes those opportunities away from Cawdor Field for a comeback.
We'd have to look at the stats to see if there's been 2 teams having a 10-all draw in 2 rounds. I'm sure there'd be a statistician somewhere for Griffith University would be able to tell us that with part of the social netball.
I'd say it'd be rare. See a number of these players tonight with ankle braces on, twisted ankles, very common injury in netball. The having to stop on a dime can be very hard on the ankle joints and the knees.
Yeah, the knees is another big area for concern for netball players, is that leaping and stopping, as you said, the ankles and the knees.
Absolutely.
Even more so than the Aussie rules players. Good communication there by the Burnouts.
Burnout centre just went offside there, so he just stepped ever so slightly into the goal circle, which of course is not allowed.
4-point margin deep in the 4th quarter as the Burnouts leading the Cawdor Field 11-7.
That goal did not count because of the infringement from the goal attack.
So the score remains 11-7.
And we have another turnover, so goal attack called for stepping. I'd say we'd be getting very close to the end of the game. Not sure that there's enough time for Cawdor Field to actually mount the comeback.
No, I tend to agree with you now. So the 10-all draw, I think, is, well, it can't be a 10-all draw now because, of course, the Burnouts are already 11. But there would be enough time for the Cawdor Field to draw level. Finally it drops.
Sense of relief.
All laughs under the post there. Very much so.
And that's the final buzzer. So just 3 points in it at the end. So another very close win for the Burnouts. They've had 2 ties and some very close results throughout the season.
I'd like to see how Cawdor Field go on the touch football.
I wonder.
Yes.
I wonder if they're better at touch than netball.
So post-match now of our second game, it was a great win to the Burnouts over to Cawdor Field. Just waiting for the opportunity to speak to one of the players, do an after-match interview to see how they feel about the competition so far. But yes, I suppose the feature of our second game today was the amount of turnovers and ball security. So unfortunately for that, the final score was the Burnouts 11 over Cawdor Field with just the 8. So a low scoring game, and of course their first game of the season, it was a 10-all draw. So not much difference in that one, sort of just the 19 points this time. Before it was 20 points. As we're looking to find one of our players that's excited to turn up and have a chat about how the game went tonight. But as you can see there, the post-match discussions and people having a bit of a chat about the game. as we have the opportunity to speak to one of the burnouts. You've got to sit down and that's how it all works here. So, Lauren, how are you, Lauren? If you could just hold up that and watch out for the gorilla on that. Okay, so, Lauren, how did the burnouts? What was the feel on the court tonight with the burnouts?
It was really good. We all had a lot of fun, and we all just played well.
The other thing, a very low-scoring game.
Is it? What was the score?
It was 11-8 in the
Oh,
end.
okay, that's pretty good.
Okay, I believe the first time you two teams competed was a 10-all draw.
Yeah, it was a draw. It was like week 1 or something, so that's good that we won.
So you've improved that 1 point.
Yes,
Okay.
great.
And your defence is up in a long ways because you've kept them down a couple of points.
Yeah, we did well.
The team, you all live together, is that the story?
We do. We all live on college.
Okay, you're all,
Yeah.
so you don't share a room or anything, but you're basically in the same college. And so what's the joy of netball and being part of this?
Just spending time with friends, having a good laugh, and yeah, playing some sport.
Okay. And so, and how many more rounds to this competition is there?
3.
3? Okay, well done.
I hope so.
Okay, congratulations on your win
Thank
tonight,
you.
and it doesn't really push you up the ladder too
It's all
far.
right. We'll take it.
But you'll take
It's a
it.
win.
Congratulations to the
Thank
BK
you.
Burner. What does the BK stand for?
Belladon Kerr. It's our college.
Ah, right. Okay, so we're investigating all the names here
Yes.
and finding out what BK is. So thanks for that, Lauren, and all
No
the
worries.
best in the rest of the competition.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll bring Robin Stevenson back in to help me with the sign up and just how we look at the end of the games. 2 games tonight. One was a real blowout, really, the first game.
It really was, but that second game, nice and close.
Yes, very close.
Not as high scoring, but they all look pretty happy at the end of the game there. So having some fun while getting some fitness.
And as Lauren said, looked just fun, and she had a big smile on her face. So I'm sure they'll be able to go back and relive all those games. So anyway, Robin will be back next week for another round of this fantastic Tuesday night netball here at the Griffith University Tuesday night netball, and for the next round. So looking forward to being here. You'll be here.
I'll be back. Can't keep me away.
And thanks to all the support staff here and the teams themselves, but all the support staff that's made it all possible, the guys from Griffith University, their outside broadcast unit. So join us next week for more of this fantastic Tuesday night broadcast.
Bye.